New York City was totally crazy this weekend. I was there with my husband for a wedding of a very dear friend. And of all the weekends, right, of all the weekends, there were 10,000 pro-terrorist protesters in Times Square. We were right in the thick of, we avoided it, but it was right there. And you could see just how nutty this is. I want to show this video of what happened in Times Square. 10,000 people who are sympathetic to terrorists who waged one of the most horrific terror attacks ever on Israel. These people are sympathetic to the terrorists, and they were just like filling Times Square. Look at this. I don't even know if this video does it full justice, because if you had a zoomed out view, like a chopper view or a drone view, it was streets and streets and streets of people, and they were marching through Times Square in all the way towards the Israeli embassy. Totally nuts. Totally nuts. And by the way, all of these calls for protecting Palestinians, reject the occupiers. This is an open air prison. You know what? The talking point over the weekend was a little ironic that nobody on the left pointed out that the talking point from the left was, oh, Israel cut off electricity and cut off water to the Palestinians. This is inhumane. These are civilians. These people are going to die. And nobody on the left, and none of these quote unquote pro-Palestinian protesters, they claim that they care about Palestinian lives, said, well, Israel would turn the electricity back on and turn the water back on if Hamas released the 150 hostages that they're holding in Gaza right now. That's all it would take, and Israel would turn the water and the power back on. By the way, the other part of the narrative, not to get too technical here, Israel supplies like less than 10% of both water and power. So it's not like Israel has the sole power over the light switch in Gaza. But all these protesters would have had to do is say, well, why don't you release these babies and children and women and elderly and family that you're holding hostage, and then it will not be a humanitarian crisis. But you'll notice that none of these crazies, none of these terrorizers, these terrorist sympathizers said anything of the kind.